Hello everyone, this is Peppa Crochets. Welcome back to my channel. Valentine's Day is right around the corner and I want to come out with a fun, crafty crochet project that you can make for all of your friends and loved ones. I'm going to show you guys how you can elevate your photos and cards with a crocheted lacy border. You can even add a magnet to the back of this and turn it into a little photo frame magnet that you can stick up on the fridge. It's just a cute little crafty idea that you can use as a gift for others or a gift for yourself to decorate your home. As always, if you guys like my crochet content and tutorials, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Let's get started. So for this project, I just used a manila folder that I had lying around in order to print the picture from my printer. If you had cardstock, you can use that as well, but you just want a thicker paper because we're going to be punching holes into this and you want it to keep its integrity. Also, don't forget to change your printer settings before you print on the thicker papers. There are specific settings. For me, I think I used B5 or B4. I'll put the specifics in the description box for the manila folder before printing. Now you're going to take a tape measure or ruler, and this photo is 6.5 centimeters by 6.5 centimeters, and you're just going to mark off equal distance points along the entire photo's edge. I did 1/2 centimeter. You want to make sure that these marks are not too far apart because this is the size of our stitches, if that makes sense. It's going to be the width of our stitches and how far apart the stitches are going to be. And this is where the crochet is going to work into those stitches. So you want to make it pretty tight, but not like too close together. So I found that like 1/2 centimeter was the perfect amount of distance. You can kind of just eyeball it and see how far you want those stitches to be depending on how you want your project to look. Now we're going to poke holes through those marks that we just made. I'm using a seam ripper. You can use any sort of sharp tool. You can even use the needle that you're going to be using to thread through those holes, just so you know how big the holes need to be. We're just going to punch the holes where you made those marks, and you want to make sure that you don't punch the holes too close to the outer edge of the photo. Otherwise, the cardstock is going to rip, or it's going to rip when we're crocheting through it or putting the needle through. So just leave a little bit of space from the outer edge to where you poke the holes. So go ahead and just poke those holes all the way around, and you also want to make sure that these holes are not too big. It just needs to be big enough that a needle can pass through. A needle and thread can pass through. Now I'm just going to grab my needle and thread, and I just wanted the thread to be the same color as the yarn I'm using, but you can do whatever you'd like. And we're going to start off by making an anchor stitch for the blanket stitch. This is an embroidery stitch. I do not sew. I'm terrible at embroidery, but we're going to give this a try. So to make this anchor stitch, you're going to take the needle with the thread and go from the bottom of the photo to the top of the photo. And then once you pull that thread through, you're going to take the needle and you're going to go through again from the bottom to the top of the photo through the same hole. Also, if this isn't clear enough, I'm going to be linking a blanket stitch tutorial down below that you can reference. Now you're not going to pull the thread all the way through. You see how my fingers are keeping this little loop open? We're going to take our needle and we're going to pass it in through that loop, and then you can tighten the thread. And that's going to create our anchor stitch. Now I turn my photo around and I'm going to start the blanket stitch. So you're going to take the needle and pass it from the top of the photo to the back of the photo, and you're going to leave a small loop. You're not going to pull the thread all the way closed. You're going to leave a small loop like this. Take your needle, and from the top to the bottom, we're going to just pass that needle through, and then we're going to tighten the thread. I'm going to show you a few more times, and I'm also going to show a close-up of this as well. So again, we take the needle, go to the next hole. From the front or the top of the photo to the back of the photo, we're going to pull the thread through, leave a little loop, and then from the top to the bottom, we're going to push the needle through that little loop, and then we're going to close off the thread. And it leaves these little loops on the top that we can crochet into later. Here's a close-up. So from the front of the photo to the back, we pull the needle through the next hole, and then from the top to bottom through the loop and pull the thread through. I did make a mistake while I was doing this, and you're going to see it later on in the other clips. But basically, when I was pulling the thread all the way through, I was tightening it down way too much, which made it so difficult to pass the crochet hook through those top loops when it came time to crochet. So make sure you don't tighten it down so hard and leave a tiny little gap so that you can put your crochet hook through. That was like my biggest mistake, but this is my first time doing it, so I'm going to give myself grace. So I just finished the blanket stitch on the last hole of my card, and I actually went through again through that same hole and did another blanket stitch. I felt like this just made that corner look a little bit neater, so that's why I did it. There's no really rhyme or reason. I don't even know if it's right, but it worked out, so I'm just gonna leave it. And to finish this off, I'm gonna take my needle and run it through the very first hole that we worked into, and then instead of going from the top to the bottom, I'm going from the bottom to the top when I'm pulling my needle through that loop. I feel like that creates like a nice knot. Then I'm just going to turn my work over, and I ran the needle through the thread in the back and made knots. So similar technique, you're just putting the needle through some of those threads in the back, not pulling it all the way through and leaving a little loop, and then pulling the yarn, or not the yarn, the thread all the way down, and it creates a knot. I did that a few times to create a secure knot, and then I just trimmed off the excess. And here we have our base. So this is the base that we're going to be crocheting into. I'm going to be using crochet thread. This is in the color red, and this is a lace weight crochet thread. I'll link this one down below as well. And I'm going to grab a 1.75 millimeter hook. Honestly, I could have gone a little bit smaller. For some reason, this is the hook that I grabbed, and I quite like the look of the lace. It's a bit of a bigger lace, but if you want like a more dainty or smaller lace, I would suggest sizing down on the hook. We're going to start by placing our hook through one of the loops on the top and pulling a slip knot through that loop. So I chose kind of like the corner stitch. Now you're going to chain up one. You're going to go into the next loop, and here you can see my mistake. You see how I needed to pull up those loops because I made it too tight? Anyway, you're going to go through the next loop and do a single crochet. So for this round or row, we're just going to make single crochets into every single one of those top loops that we made. If you made the mistake of making those thread stitches too tight, you could do what I did, which I just took a needle and lifted it up slightly, very gently, so it's not ripping anything. Enough space I could pass the hook under that thread. But go ahead and just put the hook under those loops and then do the single crochets. And I placed 2 single crochets into the corners because that second single crochet will act as a turning chain as you're rounding the corner. So it'll just make it look nicer too. So 2 single crochets in the corner, and you're going to do that all the way around. When you make it back to the other side, you're going to end by slip stitching into the first single crochet stitch that you made. So this is our base, and again, you don't want to crochet too tightly because it's going to warp the cardstock or the paper. Now we're going to do a chain up of 3, and back into that very same stitch that we did the slip stitch into, we're going to do a half double crochet. This is going to be our V-stitch row. We're doing a half double crochet V-stitch row. You're going to skip about 2 stitches, and into the 3rd stitch we're going to do a half double crochet V-stitch. That's going to be a half double crochet. You're going to chain up 1, and back into that very same stitch we're going to do another half double crochet, and this creates a V-stitch. Now, I didn't count how many stitches I had along the perimeter of my cardstock, but you're just going to do 2 to 3 skipped stitches between each of the V-stitches. And obviously, because I didn't count, this isn't going to be perfect. At the end, I believe I had to skip like 1 stitch instead of 2 stitches for it to work, but you're just going to make it work somehow. And however many stitches you need to skip, you're just going to do that all the way around. And you're going to do these half double crochet V-stitches. So again, half double crochet V-stitch will always be a half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet, all into the same stitch. If you want, you can count up how many stitches you have before starting this process and then figuring out how many stitches you need to skip in order to have like an equal number of V-stitches all the way around. When you make it back to the very first stitch, you're just going to end by slip stitching into that first chain 3 or the top of that chain 3 that we made in the beginning. Now we're going to single crochet into the chain space of the first V-stitch. So that chain space of the first V-stitch, do a single crochet, and now we're going to do picot fan stitches. So into the next V-stitch between those 2 half double crochets that we made in that space, that chain space, you're going to start off by doing a double crochet. Then you're going to chain up 3, and into that base of the double crochet, you see these 2 posts here, we're going to do a slip stitch, and that's going to create a little picot stitch or a little dot. We're going to do that for a total of 5 of these double crochet picots. So again, double crochet back into that very same chain space, chain up 3, and through those 2 front posts, you're going to do a slip stitch. Let's do our third one. So again, double crochet back into that chain space. After you do the double crochet, you're going to do a chain up of 3. Go back at the base of that double crochet and do a slip stitch through those 2 front posts, and that's going to create a picot stitch. Again, double crochet, chain 3, and then you're going to go to that first chain that you made. Below it, there's these 2 posts that's at the double crochet base, and you're going to slip stitch through those 2 posts. And then I'm going to do that one more time, so I have a total of 5 of these double crochet picot stitches. Okay, those 2 front posts right there, and slip stitch. So this is what it looks like. It has this little fan effect with these dots on the ends. Go to the next V-stitch chain space and do a single crochet. So this is what you should have so far. And this is the pattern you keep repeating. So in that next V-stitch chain space, again, because we just finished a single crochet, we're going to start off with the double crochet picot fan stitches again. Here's my first double crochet, and I'm securing the chain 3 by slip stitching into the base of that double crochet through those 2 front loops right there. And I'm going to do this 4 more times until I have 5 of these double crochets with the picots. And then at the end, we're going to go over to the next half double crochet V-stitch chain space and do a single crochet like so. And this is what it looks like, and you're just going to keep continuing this pattern all the way around. Now when we reach back to the beginning, you're just going to slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch that you made. Then you're just going to do 1 extra chain, cut, and pull the yarn through to secure. And so this is what it looks like. Then you're just going to weave in those loose ends to the back, and I'm just going to show you how I weave mine in. I just pull it in and out through the base of those crochet stitches, those single crochet row that we did, just to hide the tail end of the yarn. Once I feel like it's sufficiently woven in, then I'll trim off the excess ends. This is another craft that I like to do. I like to create poems by cutting out little words that I like from different books, like old books are damaged, and I'll create a poem by lining up the words, and I like to draw and add little decorative details to it. So this might be a crochet project idea or craft idea where I merge my 2 favorite crafts together. and create these poems on these little pieces of paper, maybe with a little drawing or a picture, and then doing crochet border around it. So that might be my new thing. It's very therapeutic. I love it. I love that I was able to combine my two favorite craft hobbies together. But for the purposes of this little cardstock, I wrote a little message just in time for Valentine's Day. You can handwrite something, you can do whatever you'd like. You can even make this, again, like I said, like a letter or something, and do a crochet border around it. Here I'm just showing you guys how I block this. So I just took a piece of paper and covered the photo part and took a damp, warm towel and just kind of tapped the crochet lace without drenching it too much, and then shaped it. And then I put something heavy on top of it with a piece of paper so it would dry completely flat. And that is it for our little Valentine's Day photo card, photo frame, however you want to think of it. You can also add a magnet to the back of this. I just taped the magnet on in case I wanted to keep the photo and use it for something else, but I think I might just permanently glue the magnet on because I really like the way it looks on my fridge. But this is just a cute little craft idea. You could use it on photo strips with your friends or loved ones, or you could do it like how I did and put a photo of you and a loved one and maybe write a little message. If you guys decide to try this out, definitely send me a picture on Instagram. It's Pepper Crochets, same way it's spelled here, and I'd love to feature at the end of my next video. If you guys like my videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye everyone!